ladies, time's expired. The chair now recognizes the gentleman from California, Mr. LaMalfa. You're recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What committee are we in, Mr. Chairman?
The House Natural Resources Committee,
Okay,
Mr. LaMalfa.
and what, does it have jurisdiction over the national park system?
Has jurisdiction over all of the Department of Interior and national parks.
So today's hearing about the national parks, in this case in New York, is an appropriate venue for the conversation, yes?
We have a duty to have oversight over the National Park Service.
Okay, and there's 435 members of the House with many, many committees meeting, some of them working on fiscal issues such as funding the government today?
That's
Probably,
correct.
likely. So it is possible to walk and chew gum at the same time on many issues in the U.S. Congress. All right, good. Well, then we're in an appropriate place to talk about these issues of the parks in New York and the overwhelming effect this is going to have upon them. And we sympathize and we thank those folks here today for traveling and being with us on this. I'll just dive into a couple questions here for Assemblywoman Williams and Councilmember Arriola. You may be aware of the New York Restoration Project, as it's called. I've been made aware of it, so I'm certain you are. Of course, it maintains community gardens and parks in the city. In 2019, the project has published a study which observed that the increase in park and general green space in the East Harlem neighborhood of New York resulted in over 200 fewer felonies committed per year, a reduction of over 50%. So with the lease signed by the Department of Interior, a substantial amount of recreational space will be taken away. So can you speak to the fact that housing these illegal immigrants on Floyd Bennett Field will have on the local area in the loss of recreation and increased crime possibilities, not only from the neighborhood having less park, when we've seen the crime of the neighborhood itself go down, but the crime that will be generated from these camps?
Yes, thank you. So we have a number of groups that go to Floyd Bennett Field regularly. We have the Jamaica Bay Rockaway Park Conservancy, which was made to postpone their Public Arts Festival. They also have a new project that we've all been working with an EIS, with the community, and for outreach for the betterment of Floyd Bennett Field. There are bird clubs, there are people who fish there, there are people who kayak there, there are people who have archery there, there is Aviator Sports Center.
I'm sorry, but please focus on the crime aspect of what you would expect.
So if you have two police officers from MPS on any given tour, and a depleted police force from the 6th and the 100th precinct who would have oversight there, then absolutely it would be a crime issue.
Because of the camp itself, as well as now less park space that has been instrumental in lowering crime in the neighborhood, as statistically shown, right?
Right, and because there would be upwards of 2,000 to 7,500 people living on that park space.
Yeah.
And that really is a community. That's a community that deserves its own precinct, school board, and fire department. And they wouldn't have that.
Thank you very much. As we've stated, Floyd Bennett Field is unsafe for anyone to be living there. You talk about crime, you just heard from Mr. Spencer. I've did it again. So again, we're saying that Floyd Bennett Field is unsafe and unsuitable for anyone to live. You talk about the crime. I think Mr. Spencer shared that the burden that this will have on his force, having just 2 officers there. We're looking at 2,000 plus single migrant men. I don't have, I can't tell the future. I don't have a crystal ball in front of me to say what crime is going to be committed from what is not going to be committed,
Sure.
but we
Okay.
have to be prepared. Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate that. Mr. Spencer, would you weigh in on that, please? Because what I'm wondering too is that has the Interior, Department of Justice, Homeland Security, have they offered any kind of help to pay for the employees that it's going to take to do this job, if indeed you could get more than 2?
Thank you for the question, Congressman. No, from everything I know, we have not been given any funding to supplement outside of normal operations on Floyd Bennett Field.
As the Park Police, what is the interface between them and New York Police Department for dealing with the crime that's expected?
I do know that, NYPD is also severely understaffed, just as we are. They do work hand in hand with us on law enforcement functions, but primarily we are the servicing law enforcement agency for Floyd Bennett Field.
So it's a real recipe for disaster, isn't it?
It's going to overwhelm us.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll yield back.
Gentleman's time has expired. The